Hi, my name is Ben Bastiaansen. I'm an ICT teacher in Flanders, Belgium. I'm also the Flemish Future Classroom Lab ambassador, in which I help out teachers in Belgium with their ICT projects. Today I'm going to talk about ways how to engage learners in distance learning scenarios. Early on in the COVID outbreak, I noticed that pupils were very involved. They were always online when I met with them. But as the weeks progressed, the attendance of the online lessons and also handing in assignments became a bit more a problem. And I think this is mainly because of the lack of contact and direct feedback that learners had from the teachers or from their fellow learners. I noticed that I had to provide some extra things to them. For instance, very good structure. I noticed when I always gave my lessons online or my assignments online in the same format, that enhanced their learner engagement. Because when they lacked structure, it became more difficult for them. Another thing was also to give personal feedback. If you're teaching in a regular classroom, you tend to give a more generalized feedback so that all the pupils in the classroom could use it. But that doesn't really work in distance learning. Pupils are more waiting on personal feedback on the assignments that they are doing. Trying to keep the learners in touch with each other was also important. Luckily, I was able to use some high-tech equipment for it. We were using Microsoft Teams and Smart School Live, which is a Belgian platform, so that the pupils could still communicate with each other in a school setting. I also tried to explain to the pupils that they had to create a specific inspiring learning environment at their home. They had to look for a quiet place where they could work, where they could meet online, and maybe make sure there's some good lighting there, maybe add some plants, so really make it an inspiring learning environment for them. A mistake I also did in the beginning of the COVID lockdown was maybe set too difficult goals for them. The goals I set in assignments that they had to do were maybe a bit too difficult to do on their own. So I had to bring down the level of the goals I set and maybe split them up in separate sub goals that they had to reach, so that the assignments they get were achievable. What also was a bit of a, I would not say problem, but we had a discussion at our school about it. Should we make the assignments mandatory or not? Should they be evaluated? Should they be graded or not? Would it be fair to use grades for learning at home assignments? And it's my personal opinion that they should be graded, because that attracts more involvement of the pupils. If it's not mandatory, why should we put in the effort? They should, because they want to learn, but in lots of cases, that's not how teenagers think. What I also noticed was that learners didn't have sufficient free time. So we need to make sure also in distance learning scenarios where you don't see how your pupils are performing at an instant, that you build in sufficient free time in their schedule. And last, but certainly not least, as a teacher, never give up. I had moments when it was very easy and when it was very fun. That's great, but I also had moments when it was very hard to get pupils involved or to teach from a distance. But never give up, always work on it, try new things, try to keep the learners engaged in your lessons, and make sure that you do the best job you can as a teacher. From a distance, I would like to say goodbye to you all and hope to speak to you all again in real life after the COVID breakdowns.